Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 12 of What If Godlike Naruto was sent to the Marvel Universe. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out What If Naruto was the strongest half-breed Uchiha over an Anime King. And over Anime Prince, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to the My Hero Academy universe by Kaguya. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels that I post What If on every single day. Links will be down in the description for all 4 channels. So go ahead, check them out and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode start right away guys. So the last part we left off, Pepper found out that Tony was okay. However, he had to go back to Afghanistan. After all, no one had to know about Naruto, so he had to go back. But Tony was ready, as he plotted out everything. That is when he test drive his Iron Man uniform. It had a few kinks and a few bumps in it, however, it was still gonna do the job, as Naruto teleported all of them there. While that was going on, the Masters and the Ancient One were talking about the Orange Fox. As Naruto was just too powerful, they could not tell about anything when he was around. The stone, the Eye of Agamotto, would not tell anything about his future. So that meant he was either above this reality or he was some kind of god that was sent down, that pushed past any sense of fabric control or alignment. As they didn't know which one was the case, but they had to do something about him. Otherwise, he would change the destiny of everything and everyone around them. When Tony, Frank, and Jensen got back towards Afghanistan, they were immediately attacked as they started to fight off everyone there. None of them men stood a chance as Tony Iron Man uniform was powerful ever since Naruto and him had went on that first mission where they became friends. He'd been thinking about this as he enjoyed bringing bad guys to justice, and now he had a chance to do so. As they were able to escape, Naruto arriving just in time, as they were brought far out into the desert where they would have to wait, as Naruto told them that he would go back and finish up the job. As Naruto made his way back, meanwhile with Pepper, Naruto came back and told her everything was going to be fine as she breathed a sigh of relief. Phil then came over as Naruto went into hiding. Once he was gone, Pepper asked Naruto some questions, and also he wanted to be Morgan here. Bodyguard, they're gonna have to bring her out. And what better to have than a superhuman that seemed to never be able to take damage and can disappear and reappear anywhere, as it seemed to be a really good idea. A few days passed after that. Stain was really getting pissed that everything was failing as he was trying to take over Tony's company. However, Tony was able to escape and he was pissed off. The warlord had been killed. A video feed had been sent back. The entire base had been pulverized. It had been erased like it was never there to begin with. When Tony was finally saved, they went on the chopper as they made their way back. The news headlines were going crazy as everyone heard about Tony Stark's return. Meanwhile, Natasha talked to Fury about everything, as she could not tell him everything though. She had to leave out a few parts, but all that he needed to know that everything was fine. As Naruto had made sure to rub Fury's face into it and told him to leave it alone, that everything would be fine. However, Fury was man that didn't like to take people's words, especially Naruto for it. But he still had to lay back a bit because Naruto had everything under control. When Tony and Frank and the others saw the video, they were shocked. Naruto said that he was going to go back and deal with it, but this was just insane. As Tony went to get some cheeseburgers first. When the reporters came, as everyone was there, a woman was trying to seduce Tony, as it was her time to get some information as she was one of the media headlines. However, Tony shut that down rather instantly. As they were shocked, Tony has not been seen with any woman for the past couple of years, which was rather strange. However, Tony then announced that he had a daughter, a family to go home back to, and a fiancée. That is, if she said yes, as he turned his attention towards Pepper. As he pulled a ring box out of the cheeseburger bag that he was eating, shocking everyone there as they couldn't believe it. Even Pepper was shocked as well, as she never expected this one bit, as Tony looked towards her with a ring. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought you guys can. So be sure to play, check it out for yourself, and what do you say we begin this new episode guys? Start now guys. Pepper's face turned a shade of red, rivaling her hair. Everything around her seemed to just freeze away except for Tony and herself. Tony's proposal might be unorthodox, but it was just like him to do something like this. She was just about to give him an answer when something barreled between them and tackled Tony, almost caused him to fall. "Daddy!" Morgan shouted. The revelation of Tony's Stark relationship going on long enough for him to propose and have a kid made the reporters start to lose their mind. But the arrival of the small child that looked to be around 4 years old, who looked like the both of them, further drive them crazy. "Hey Morgan," Tony said surprised. "What are you doing here?" "Naruto brought me," she said as she pointed toward the hallway. As she turned as all the cameras were there, and the people as she hid, her face in her daddy's neck. "Who are they?" she asked. "Don't mind them, honey," he said, as she nodded her head, holding on to him. He looked back towards Pepper. "Pep, I still need the answer," he said. In the hallway, Phil and Naruto were watching the interaction as Naruto left. Morgan ran towards her father. "Hey Phil, how are you?" said Naruto. "Everything's fine," said Phil, with his trademark smile. "I have to say you're making my job a lot harder." "Oh, and why is that?" said Naruto. "Well, you managed to make most, if not all, protective surveillance on one of the agent's VIP impossible. Isn't that like a breach of privacy?" said Naruto. "Not if Howard Stark himself technically hired us," said Phil. "Oh yeah," said Naruto, as he almost forgot why S.H.I.E.L.D. was interested in Tony in the first place. "Either way, you guys suck at guarding him," said Naruto. He spoke in a rather childish tone as he stuck out his tongue. Phil could not really deny what Naruto said because it wasn't exactly a lie. There was a lot of restrictions in place, preventing them from doing their job to their fullest capacity, which led to Tony Stark fiasco in Vegas and the kidnapping. "Phil," said Naruto, sounding rather seriously, "do you have any idea who is the mastermind behind this?" Naruto asked. "Nothing concrete, but I have a guess. We're looking into it now." Phil answered, leaving out the name. His goal was to either make Naruto stop, or at least bargain that information away. However, it looked like none of that was gonna work today, as Naruto had no patience to play the back and front that Phil wanted to play right now. So he turned his gaze towards him. Naruto's Sharingan activated his all-seeing god eyes. Phil blinked after a few seconds. He knew something happened, but there was no memories, nothing at all. He was confused. "So Obadiah Stane, huh? That makes sense," Phil heard Naruto say out of nowhere as he looked at the family. What did you just do?" "Never mind that," said Naruto. "Don't do anything to Stane. I'm not gonna do anything either. Tell Fury to let Tony handle it for now, but be ready to step in at any time," Naruto said without giving Phil really much of a chance. As he then turned his gaze, "It looks like Pepper is about to answer," he said, his tone lightening up. As the people start to rush towards there to get the first shot exclusive of Tony Stark proposing and what his fiancée had to say. Well, not yet exactly, but with the way she looked. As Naruto realized that the security detail was about to get overwhelmed, so he transformed into one of the securities. Not one that was there though, with an army of securities just appearing behind him as Phil watched him. As they blocked off all the reporters, the clones pushed the reporters back, as Naruto kind of looked similar, taking the family and Happy by surprise. As Pepper told Tony that she was hyperventilating, but Tony seemed to only chuckle by that, which caused a smile to appear on her face as the people start to move even closer. However, Naruto's security details held them off, as they were led to the car, followed by Phil closely behind. "Congratulations guys," said Naruto. "I thought Tony was gonna..." Naruto paused. "Not do it," he said, making his statement more kid-friendly, as Morgan was there. "Thanks," Tony said. As he turned towards Naruto. Wait, why did you bring Pepper, he said. And who's the guy behind you? Pepper stepped in. That is Agent Coulson, she said. As Naruto spoke up while Morgan and I was playing with the TV on, I was scrolling through the channels when I came upon a live interview of yours. When you reach the part when you reveal your daughter, I came right away, said Naruto. Your plan to suspend your weapons manufacturing will bring some heat down on you and your family. So what better time to fully reveal Morgan after your announcement to give those pariah something to report on. I just did not expect you to propose right after. Look at the bright side though, no one will talk about your statement after all that, said Naruto. Naruto's answer was exactly what they would expect from him. A stupid plan that would work some way or another. Still, just thinking of the public feedback gave Pepper a headache. So she decided to change the topic right now. Why is your agent friend following us, she asked, as he got through the door. You're going to want to talk about Shield, aren't you? Who better to ask than the agent himself, said Naruto. Just don't expect him to answer. As Phil started to think about everything he could say, without any repercussions. Naruto, I'll follow behind. I need to make some calls. As he walked towards a parked SUV a distance away. Phil would probably call Fury, Naruto thought to himself. As a limo stopped in front of them, the family got in on the back seat as Naruto went in on the passenger side. Hey Happy, found anything new to do? Aside from upping the security protocol as usual, said Naruto. Not much. I start to box again though. Trying to up my skills just in case, said Happy. He was also thinking about how he might teach Tony some moves to make him be able to defend himself. Nice. Call me if you ever need a sparring partner, said Naruto. On the other side of the screen. So, we're going to hire him, right? Said Tony. We have no other choice, do we? You basically announced it on live television, and Naruto brought Morgan. Pepper said to raise eyebrow. But it would be less stressful to hire a group of Special Forces. We should probably look into that, she said, half serious. An army of every SAS and SEALs combined can't really hold a candle to Naruto. Ask Rhodey to show you the crater, and you will understand what I'm talking about. Pepper filed it away for later. By the way, I'm uploading Jarvis in the corporate system. Why? Said Pepper. I'm going to upgrade Jarvis' system to do a full sweep of everything. There will also be an old system audit, but only you and I will know about Jarvis being in the system. Pepper could see an underlying tension in Tony's demeanor. Be honest with me, Tony. Why are you doing all of this? What happened over there? Tony released a sigh. He should have known that she would be able to see his anxiety. You know that a murder caused this, right? As Pepper nodded. What, I didn't tell you that. The murder had my name on it. Your name? I don't understand. The mortar that caused this was made by Stark Industry, said Tony. Pepper gasped at that. The whole thing finally made sense to her. It's not just that, Tony said. They had a massive cache of weapons with Stark Industry on it. On our way out of the cave, we blew up as much as possible. We apparently missed a catch inside the cave since we were rushing to get out, but Naruto took care of it though. The pair sat in silence after that, thinking about how they should move forward. You know what? I hate all this serious talk. Let's talk about something more fun, said Tony. Let's talk about our wedding. Pepper sighed, but then she smiled. Time skip, Natasha's safe house, New York. Hey Nat, there's some leftover pizza in the fridge if you like, said Jess, as soon as Nat got in the apartment. This was one of her free moments. The week has been stressful. Thanks, but I already ate, said Natasha as he plopped down on the couch. Jessica saw how tense she was as she started to massage her shoulders. That's a spot. Thanks, said Natasha. It must be a really stressful mission for you to be this tense. Jessica asked rhetorically. By the way, Naruto hasn't come by for about 3 days. Sounds about right, said Natasha. I guess I can tell you about the mission this time. Natasha rarely tells Jessica about her mission since most of them are top secret, but sometimes she can let out a few vague parameters and lets Jessica figure it out. But sometimes even her high-class missions were not kept a secret because Naruto would get carried away with his storytelling and tell Jess everything. You know about Tony Stark's kidnapping, right? As Jessica sat there and nodded. As Nat told her, Jessica could only chuckle, so he has been causing trouble the moment he got here, huh? I also have a suspicion that he's been living in the Stark mansion. So living with 2 hot ladies that are willing to have sex with him isn't enough. He has to live in a mansion as well. That's good to know, said Jessica. in a sarcastic tone. Don't worry about that. I am sure that Naruto is worth at least billions of dollars, so he can buy himself a mansion anytime he like. Add to the fact that he can create anything he wants with a thin air. He could be the richest person in the world. There must be another reason why he's staying there. That is when Natasha noticed Jessica massage stop as she turned towards her. Are you alright? Jessica was shocked. She hadn't even think about Naruto creation ability and how that can make him immensely rich. That train of thought made her feel somewhat empty inside. All she could think about was the distance between him and her. The reason why she never dated anyone after Sterling was because of her inability to process anything too emotionally well. Being an introvert with PTSD and survivor guilt syndrome can do that to anyone. The only reason why she accepted Natasha's weird offer was because she was in a bad position in life, and one of her outlets were sex. Now she's somewhat caught feelings for a guy in a relationship. What a screwed up situation she could be in. Hey Jess, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, she said. Natasha knew how to read people quite well, as she could tell what she was currently feeling at the moment. As they turned on the TV, the press conference was at the point where Tony had just proposed. As they watched, it got to the point where they saw the stampede of reporters rushing towards the child and Tony. Isn't that getting a bit too dangerous? That's when things happened too fast, said Natasha. However, she couldn't do anything, being 4,000 kilometers away. That is when they saw someone and a crew of others. Wait, is that Naruto in a suit? Yeah, said Natasha. And that's my co-worker behind him, she said. As Natasha glanced towards Jess as she watched the TV, she unlocked the TV off as she turned towards Jessica, who looked towards her confused. Jess, I want you to be honest with me. Jessica's heart rate started to skyrocket a bit as she saw the way Natasha looked at her. Are you in love with Naruto? Jessica immediately tensed as Nat took her hands as she tried to calm her down as she continued to talk. In Naruto's world, there's a law called the Clan Restoration Act, or the CRA. It says when a clan is down to a few surviving members, members can be paired with 2 or more individuals to repopulate the clan. Polygamy and polyamorous relationship is a norm in their world due to the imbalance in gender. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Jessica already knew about all of that, although she never gave any of it a second thought. It was a concept so foreign to her that she pushed away at the corner of her mind. So there's no reason for all of us not to be together unless you don't want to, Natasha said. There's just one thing you need to know before deciding. I haven't talked to Naruto about all of this, but I'm giving you out after you hear what I have to say. Jessica nodded slowly. We both know that Naruto is an immortal. I was able to talk to him to consider in making me partially immortal. I know it's a stupid idea, but I just can't imagine him being alone throughout eternity. You want to doom yourself into eternity for a guy? I thought you were supposed to be immune to feelings, said Jessica, half joking. She then got up and walked towards the door. She saw the worried look on Natasha's face. Don't worry, Nat, she said. I will come back. I don't know what my answer will be, but I won't just up and go like that. As she walked away. Damn, too much too soon, thought Natasha to herself. Jessica, on the other hand, had no idea where to go. Ever since those 2 came in her life, it was like a roller coaster ride. Why can't anything ever be too simple, she thought to herself, as she kept on walking until she pulled out her phone, as she dialed a number. As the other person answered, Hey Trish, I need to talk to you about something. Can we meet somewhere? Time skip. Jessica walked back in front of the Starbucks. Come on, you fight in a Russian underground fighting ring. This isn't so different, she thought to herself. So why was she more nervous about this? Talking with her adoptive sister, then going into a bar fight. You're being stupid, just go in there and talk to her. However, the choice was taken away. Jess. As she turned, and there she was. Patricia Walker, or Trish. That is what Jessica called her. 5 feet 8 inches, Caucasian woman with blonde hair and green eyes. Trish was a talented figure that became a young star. And just like other young stars, the newly found freedom and pressure of her professional life caused that life to go down the drain. Even at Jessica Lewis' point in her life, she did not reach Trish's level. The last time she saw her adoptive sister was when she stopped her at the club from having a one-night stand with her drug dealer. Trish voluntarily entered into rehab after that incident. They hadn't seen each other for more than 3 years, but Jessica kept track of where she was. Trish was able to turn life around and she was now working as a producer at a radio station. As Jessica walked towards her and gave her a quick hug, Trish was shocked. For as long as she knew Jessica, she had never initiated a hug or any other sign of affection, physical that is. The most she would do was pat someone on the shoulder. It seems like she was not the only one that changed in the past 3 years. Trish decided not to say anything of this may cause her to clam up. As they made their way inside, to warm up a bit because outside was rather cold. As they went and got a seat, as Trish offered to get the coffees, Jessica just nodded, once again surprising Trish. As Jessica was a proud woman that didn't accept most things from anyone, so this was shocking. As she came back with a coffee and handed to her, Jessica still looked rather out of it, but she still muttered thanks. So, how are you? I heard you got a job with WNEX. Of course you already know a lot about Trish's life, however, it's better to start with small talk. Good to know that you're still checked up on me, said Trish, with a teasing grin. Yep, got a job as a producer assistant a year and a half ago. Worked my way up to producer. Although I just heard that I'll be able to get my own show that I will be hosting. That's awesome, said Jessica. What are you gonna do with your show? Not sure yet, but I'm gonna pitch a talk show about helping people. I might not be a superhero, but I might be able to help other people. I say that it's still a dream come true though, as she was referring to Jessica's abilities and her childhood dream of being a superhero. But enough about all of that. Let's get to the reason why you called me. Don't get me wrong, I love that you called me, but you're obviously dying to tell me what's on your mind. Jessica released a deep sigh after that statement. As she took a while. How open-minded are you, she asks. Trish raised an eyebrow at that question. You already know the answer to that question. With my history, it would be pretty hypocritical of me to think less of people for what they do. Well, what do you think about joining a threesome? Well, that's pretty low on the list. That's things that people experience in college. I'm pretty sure I did a lot more than a threesome. Trish joked. Well, half jokingly. Jessica took a bite of the bagel and sip of the coffee. How stupid is this coffee idea? We should have just went to a bar. As Trish chuckled at that. I can't tell you the whole thing. We would go to prison the moment I blurted out. Now this caught Trish off guard. How did that threesome end up to them going in prison? You should start with what you can tell me then. Alright, so I found a guy that has a stronger version than my condition. As she was referring to her superhuman strength and durability. I now know that there's a lot of people like me out there. And an organization that monitor us. I can't tell you more about them though. They're probably listening to us right now. Trish got a bit paranoid as she looked around, trying to find something. The guy in the red hoodie behind you, and the chick to my left, in the dress. There's also a beige SUV parked outside. Don't look at them, said Jessica. Living with Naruto and Natasha honed their already impressive observation skills. It also helped that they talk about lessons that involve espionage, self-defense, and intuitive thinking. Shit, we're under surveillance? Trish asks. Not all the time. They don't surveil me at home and they don't use audio surveillance. Think of it as protecting me from anyone that might be interested, since that is how they watch out for non-violent individual. But never mind that, the guy I'm talking about has a girlfriend. They were serious, but not long before I came in the picture, or pulled in mayhem. Where? How long ago was this? Asked Trish. More than a year and a half ago, I think, Jessica said. The girlfriend was my neighbor that moved in the building a year before all of this. And the guy has a weird living arrangement that caused him to stay at my neighbor's apartment most of the time. The whole building knew when he was there. Why? Does he cause trouble or something? No, not really. It's just when he and my neighbor has sex, you could hear my neighbor moaning to Kingdom Come. And since he's a super, you can feel the building shake. I'm not even sure how Nat survived. So your neighbor's name is Nat. You might as well spill the name of the guy then. As Jessica did not say anything, the name Naruto isn't as common as Nat here in the States, so Trish could easily find him through her connections. I can give you an alias of his. Some people call him Nathan. Wow, an alias. What is he, a spy? No, he's not. Nat is, said Jessica. Trish was surprised. They have a weird romance, but I can't get into that right now. Anyway, Nat basically tapped out against Nathan in bed, so she pulled me in. And of course you said yes. Yeah. And it continued up until now. What happened, said Trish. Nat asked me if I would like to enter a more permanent relationship, said Jessica. Is she leaving Nathan to be with you? Asked Trish. No, it's a thing between all of us, deal. And it was this Nat that asked you. Nathan didn't pressure her in any way whatsoever? Asked Trish. No way. Nat practically forced Nathan to accept the arrangement. And when Nat asked me this afternoon, Nathan has been AWOL for at least 3 days. Don't get me wrong, but is he gay or something? No, that's a definite no, said Jessica. Well, he's basically a beast in bed if he can keep up with someone like you. Trish teased her a bit before she went back to the topic. If you're okay with the arrangement and you like at least one of them, why not? You like at least one of them, don't you? As Jessica nodded. It's a guy, right? Jessica nodded once again. Then what's the problem? Asked Trish. Jessica wanted to accept it, however, when she heard about the plan for the future, it got her thinking twice. Nathan has a weird lineage. He came from a weird place where he's basically a member of royalty. Because he's the last surviving member, he's expected to have multiple wives. There's an even bigger problem that will cause most people back away. But I can say if I don't change, I'll be left behind. Although I can still join whether I change or not. Is that change good or bad? Asked Trish. Best I could say if everyone was offered the choice, it would be a 50-50 split. What the hell? Why can't you just tell me, said Trish. Because either you won't believe me or everything that you know about the universe will be turned upside down, said Jessica. Aren't you exaggerating just a bit, Jess? As Jessica laughed. Not at all, she said. Well, shit, said Trish. I don't know what to tell you. I think you're the first person that experienced this kind of problem. All I can say is do what you think you want and think about the consequences later. Or you don't even have to decide anything for now either. It doesn't seem like they're forcing you. Jessica listened to what Trish said as she arrived at one fact. You're useless. Because that is the exact same thing I was thinking. Time skip. Natasha's safe house. Good to be home, said Naruto as he entered the apartment. He's been gone for some time now dealing with the whole Tony Stark thing. As Naruto arrived and stepped inside, as he found Natasha in her dance studio, an old warehouse that he renovated for her to support her love of ballet. Her feeling was a bit chaotic, as Naruto could feel it through the small chocolate that she had. However, Jessica was in Central Park. As seeing that Natasha was isolated and safe, Naruto went toward Jessica, who seemed to be even more chaotic, like she was about to explode. There was something seriously wrong with her. As Jessica was sitting under one of Naruto Harashin trees that he had marked as he felt his marker close. What are you thinking about? Jessica was shocked by his just sudden appearance once again, causing her to almost leap straight up in the air. Naruto, what the hell? When did you get back? She said, calming down. I got home a few minutes ago to an empty apartment. Naturally, I was worried since I know you guys were home this afternoon. I immediately knew that something was wrong when Natasha was doing ballet. And your chaotic chakra signature proved my point. It seems like you're about to blow. What's going on, said Naruto. Did something happen? As she did not answer. Are you okay, Jess? He asked. She looked up towards him. Yeah, she said. She sighed. I can't tell you what happened. Nat said some stuff that shook me up, that's all. You can't tell me, huh? Said Naruto. That kind of made me want to know about it more, he said. But I'm gonna let it slide for now. Although you ladies need to work out what's going on, said Naruto. Your stress level is through the roof. Good thing yours is going down, said Naruto. Yeah. I just got calmer when I got near this tree, she said, as Naruto looked toward the cherry blossom tree. You do know that this is one of my trees, right? Your tree, she said, confused. Yep, this is one of the accidental physical manifestation of my dimensional anchor. I didn't even know the flash of light that happened with the trees when I arrived. I only found out about it when I was traveling. So it's my tree. It absorbs a whole lot of nature energy and release it in a controlled manner. That is probably why you feel so calm. Jessica finally understands her weird, calming feeling. I should have gone to Central Park sooner if it was like this, she said. It probably wouldn't have worked before. If this affected everyone, you'd just see people everywhere. Only you and Nat should be affected because you experienced nature chakra from me. Anyway, want me to bring you to Nat? Or should I just leave, he asked. She really hated that she didn't have a thing to say after the long time she's been thinking about it. Let's just get this over with, she said. She held out her hand as Naruto took it, before they were gone in a flash. Time skip. As Jessica arrived at Natasha's safe space, it was her ballet studio. As Natasha was a bit surprised to see her here. Nice place you have here, Nat, Jessica said, trying to remain calm, but Natasha could feel the underlying tension. Yeah, I should have brought you over sooner. How did you get in anyway? Although she was already sure what the answer was. Naruto brought me, she said. He basically forced me to talk to you. Why? Something about the state of our chakra bothering him or something. He got home a few hours ago, and he couldn't find us. So he tracked us down. I have no idea why he came to me though. It's probably because I'm in here. This place is more secure than the White House. So, where is he anyway? She asked while stripping off her clothes. Not mind that she had an audience, well, one person, as she went into something that was not drenched in sweat. As Jessica didn't mind watching the little strip show, Natasha had a fine degree of sexuality that she had no trouble seducing even straight ladies or gay men. As Jessica snapped out of her stupor when Nat was already done changing, he said something about getting out of her here for a while and going back to LA. Apparently, the Starks hired him to protect their child or something. Huh, fewer should probably know about this. However, I'm on vacation, said Nat as she made her way, Jessica following. As the both of them was delaying this as much as they could, as they went towards the heavy-duty performance car. As Nat got on the driver's side, Jessica went in on the passenger side. You want to go anywhere? Natasha asked, as she had no real idea where they should go. But Jess shook her head. Alright, let's just drive around and see where it leads us, she said, as they started to drive out. Jess was quiet for a few seconds until she spoke up. Are you serious about what you said earlier? Which part? All of it. But let's start with the immortality thing first. Yes, it's true. I was always taught to kill my emotions, since my occupation was so, well, you understand. As guilt and feelings will only let you drown in that guilt. However, Naruto was the only person that made me feel something more. Don't get me wrong, I was never emotionally dead, but I was prepared to die without feeling any love or really romantic love. The closest person I felt something like this for was my work partner, but nothing ever come from it since I found out that he had a family. Well, that sucks, but that still doesn't answer why though. I still don't believe that it's just because you feel sorry for him. As Natasha thought about it, trying to explain why she would do this. Have you ever had a single moment where you wanted to last forever, just to preserve that feeling for as long as possible? Of course, Jessica answered yes to the question. She was thinking of the last Thanksgiving she had before her family died, but there was some small part of her nagging about some moments with Nat and Naruto. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. It may sound cliche since it's coming from me, but Naruto is my forever, literally. So where am I supposed to fit in all of this? Wherever you want, said Natasha. With Naruto's unique condition, there's a high percentage chance that he will eventually practice polygamy. All I'm doing now is dealing with it and making sure that it's someone that won't take advantage of him. He might look tough and all that on the outside, but deep inside, emotionally, he's just a puppy. Are you expecting me to do the same as you, Jessica said, referring to Natasha, immortality choice? No, but I got to say, I would like you to do it. I heard immortality can be pretty boring, said Nat, half jokingly. As Jessica realized where they were going. Why are we heading to DC? All this talk about the future reminded me that I need to file for about 3 months of leave. She then turned towards Jess. What are you gonna do now? I'm not sure yet. I just need some more time. Meanwhile, at the start mentioned, Don't bother heating that up, said Naruto. As the family just came back in, I brought some ramen. You should probably get some sleep soon. I know, Pepper already told me, said Tony, as he took the bowl and a pair of chopsticks. What are you doing here anyway? I thought you were going back to your girlfriend. As Pepper walked in silently, trying to see if Naruto would not detect her. I was, but my girlfriend and our roommate had some kind of misunderstanding, so I gave them some time to work things out. I can also answer some questions that you guys wanted to ask, said Naruto, as he placed another bowl of ramen on the seat. Ain't that right, Pepsi asked. Tuh, I thought I could get by you this time, said Pepper, as she sat down beside Tony. Thanks for the food, by the way, she said, as Morgan was asleep. Once they were done eating, Naruto picked up the bowls and they vanished, once again just shocking them. You already know what we want to know before officially hiring you, right? Yes, you want to know my real background and what the hell Shield is, right? As Pepper nodded. What do you want to know first? Let's start with what Shield is and why they're so interested in Tony. Naruto pulled out a video camera as he pointed towards Tony. What are you doing? Tony asked. Just trying to record your reaction. It's gonna be awesome, said Naruto. So, I can't tell you stuff that will cause you to be terminated or incarcerated, said Naruto. The couple started to get more worried at his words. Shield is a US-based spy agency, but you already know that. As Naruto told them the basics on Shield and how it was created, the info that he gave them was not anything that would cause people to kill them for. However, Naruto knew that Tony was not gonna like what he was about to say next. Shield was founded by your dad, Howard Stark, and Captain America Flame, Peggy Carter. Hell, your dad provided most of the stardom on that Peggy needed. As for why they're so interested in you, Howard made sure that you would not be interested in the chaotic world that Shield is. Peggy also mandated that Shield watch over you from the shadows, to make sure that you don't just suddenly die. Well, that is what my girlfriend told me, said Naruto. The things sound far-fetched, however, based on what they knew, it might as well be real. So the surveillance outside the house, when you first moved in. Yep, Shield. A lot of them, said Naruto. They're still trying to watch you guys, though I made sure they will have as hard as time as possible. What are they gonna do now, Pepper asked. Nothing, they will continue what they're doing. I know for a fact that they're already making contingency plans, in case something happened to Morgan, said Naruto. As Naruto gave him a folder, Tony picked it up as he looked through it. Alien invasion? Zombie apocalypse? What the hell, he said. Oh yeah, very real, said Naruto. They already have an alien on ice, and I've already met a zombie. The alien that he was talking about was a blue guy that Fury tried to hide off the books, as he heard Fury ask Coulson about Project Tahiti. As for the zombie, the Impure World resurrection technique technically created those. What? Said Pepper. She got to her feet. Tony would have been reacting same way as her if he wasn't frozen in shock. All the surprises end here. Who the hell are you? She said, as Naruto found it rather funny that he could still surprise him even though he was telling the truth. What do you want to know? He asked. Pepper pulled out her phone as she opened a note file. She had already been getting questions that she wanted to ask Naruto, and now was the most important time to ask him these. Who are you? We know that your background story is only on paper only, and removing that, you don't exist anywhere. Tony just hung back. Pepper would ask some more important questions. Well, the question should be what rather than who, but I'll answer either way. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, he said, a former shinobi of the Hidden Leaf. My girlfriend described me the best, said Naruto, so I'll go with that. She called me an immortal, dimension-hopping god. As Pepper stood there frozen in shock, Tony on the other hand went the opposite way, as he burst out laughing, finding the whole thing just hilarious. Time skip, May 28, 2009. What are we doing this time? Eric asked, as he was on top of a cliff, positioning himself as an Overwatch. The 10 rings are moving their forts inside Golmara. They're gonna make it their new forwarding base. Naruto replied through the comm on the other side of the village. I know someone from here and we're gonna do him a favor, as Naruto was currently on a mission. As for Tony and Pepper, they had forgotten all about Shield talk. Hearing that Naruto was an alien was rather shocking. After an hour of calming them down, Tony had forced him to do all kind of tricks. With chakra, starting fires with his hands, walking up walls. Good thing Naruto did not say that he could call for the dead and make anything that he can imagine, as Pepper realized that Naruto was more than qualified to watch over Morgan. His prize for protecting Morgan was a copy of Tony's armor and the base code for Jarvis' program. Who knows what he can create, combining Wakanda tech with Tony design. As Naruto stayed with the Starks for 3 days, giving Jess and Nat time to work things out, as they had went to Washington and stayed there for a day. As Naruto placed a Harishim tag on Morgan, he also gave her one of the beads, 12 of them, like a bracelet around her hand, but they were all clones, frozen in stasis. This gave her a 12-man bodyguard team. Tony and Pepper did not know about that though. Nat already filed for a leave when he got back so he could push forward with their operation. He tried to find out what their disagreement was about, but neither of them would tell him, as he brought them to Switzerland to utilize what he used on Peggy. Natasha had never felt so weak before after the operation, which caused her to panic. However, Peggy was there to calm her down. It was normal. She would stay with Peggy for the 3-month duration. Jessica had no choice but to return, since she had to go back to university. As Naruto found something moving at high speeds towards him, well, towards his range, he activated Sharingan. Shit, he said, as Eric heard him over the comms. What happened? Eric asked. We're going to have a visitor. Don't shoot it or blow it up, said Naruto. You're not going to tell me who or what it is. You will know when you see it, said Naruto. He's here. Eric thought, as something flew in, a red and gold streak. What the hell was that, Eric thought. Through his scope, he saw that it was a red and golden armor. What the hell was that? Damn, he finally finished it. Took him longer than I thought, Naruto said to the comms. Of course you know the guy in the suit of armor. I mean, why wouldn't you, said Eric. The dude did everything as he blew up all the weapons to go terrorists. Are we still needed here? Guess not, said Naruto. But we should stay here in case something unexpected happens. However, it seems like there would be no other mess today as the armor suit man eviscerate everything before taking off. Leaving a wake of destruction, Eric scanned the area to make sure they were all taken care of. He is gonna get himself killed as Naruto pulled out his phone and patched in a number. Hey Jarvis, he said. Can you put me through to Tony's suit, he asked. Of course, sir. Patching you through now. Naruto, hey, kinda busy. Driving right now. I'll call you back later, said Tony. Don't screw with me, said Naruto. Tony, I saw you blowing up the tanks. What the hell? I just saw you at the gala before I left. That was a clone. Does Pepper know about this, Naruto asked. As Tony had left the gala, as Naruto believed that it was just frustration of dealing with the press, Tony had swept through the books, and it led him to believe that someone higher up, someone on the table, in the company, the executive table, was behind all of this. I liked it better when we didn't know about you. I could still counter how you found out stuff in front of Pepper, said Tony. Do you still want to know what I'm gonna tell you? Just say it, man. It isn't easy to fly in a suit of armor, said Tony. Well, it's about to get a whole lot harder. You just flew over a military, US restricted area. Shit, said Tony, as he cut the comms. Well, that was rude. Naruto turned back towards Eric. You're going down there to sweep the main areas. Make sure nothing dangerous got left behind. What are you gonna do, said Eric as he picked up his gear. I'm gonna help the guy in the armor. He's about to get shot down. Let's meet back here in 3 hours, said Naruto, as he disappeared. As Naruto reappeared under Tony's armor, as he was flying in the sky, as he knocked on Tony's chest plate. Tony was checking his arm because one of the tanks had hit him. When he heard knocking, as Naruto was flying below him, as he was moving at a speed of Mach 1. He nearly fizzed out, however he stabilized the armor. You can fly? Of course you can fly. Why wouldn't you, said Tony, in a sarcastic tone. We have no time for that, you have 4 F-22 incoming. There is no time for that now, said Naruto. As Naruto reached up, however, shit, he said, we're too late. They have visual. As he pushed Tony away, Tony saw Naruto's skin start to get cut, as black threads came out of his skin, wrapping around him as it made him look like a full body suit. He was also now wearing a dark orange helmet, as Naruto made a replica armor. As Tony now understand why Naruto was so obsessed about his armor. His could be deployed on him instantly though, as he wondered what was the material. Stop daydreaming, Tony. We need to take those planes down, or at least break their line of sight, said Naruto. And the satellite, aim down at us. Fly low and head for the mountain range when you break their tail. Stay on radio contact. Channel 43, said Naruto. When the jets were a few kilometers away, they nodded, before they separated. Rudy was the one that was calling for this, as they found something that they could not identify. Unknown flying through the air at Mach 1. This is RAF 1. We got visual. Still too far to confirm. Do a flyby. Find out whatever the hell it is, the sergeant said. Sir, the satellite said that we have 2 bogies, but they're too close for the radar to confirm. They're breaking apart. Should we engage? Negative. Confirm visual contact first, the sergeant told them. Meanwhile, with Naruto. As Naruto was holding himself back a lot to make the F-22 fighter jet catch up, as he makes sure to create the illusion of rockets, similar to what Tony had with his armor. This was to make them think that he used some form of external propulsion. As Naruto decided to see how fast he can go, he speeded up to Mach 2 and climbed to 50,000 feet. However, Tony did the opposite. He dropped down to 5,000 feet as the jet zoomed past him. The low flighting area, it kind of restricted the F-22 flight capabilities. Tony should know. He designed the thing. How are you doing, said Tony, talking to Naruto over the comms. Having fun. Your planes can't turn, said Naruto. You should look into that. I wanted to fix that, however they were too cheap to pay for it, said Tony. As Naruto laughed at that, as they continued to move. As Naruto held out his hand and created a titanium steel javelin, before he threw it towards the second rafter. Meanwhile, at Nevada, Air Base Force. Bogey just went supersonic, engaging after, the lead pilot said, still trying to get a visual. Rafter 3 spoke up. Bogey B looked like a man. However, I'm not sure. Something almost ate Rafter 2. Permission to engage. The lead pilot shouted through the comms. The general that was there, his name was Alan, spoke up. Permission granted. We got a hit. Going after the other bogey. Wait. They were still a reading. He's still in the air. They were rather shocked by that. As for Naruto, shit. They're not playing around, said Naruto as he shook his head, as they just tried to blast him out of mid-air. However, he was fine. What was that? Asked Tony. They just used the armor on me. Took me by surprise, said Naruto. How much are those planes again? He asked. I feel like I shouldn't answer that question, but what the hell? It's not mine anyway. 150 million apiece. So 300 then. Cheap enough, said Naruto. Try to get a distance away from my space, Tony, so you don't get caught up. Caught up in what? Said Tony. However, Naruto did not answer. Back at the base. As Rody was standing there, he pulled out his phone. As he dialed up a number. After 3 rings, the other line finally answered. But there was a lot of background noise. Tony. Why is it so loud? I'm driving. What do you need? Tony asks. I just need to know. Have you got some toys left back in Afghanistan? Nothing. Why? Good. Because I got 2 assholes that were gonna blow to Kingdom Come. Rudy said before closing the phone as he focused back on the comms. Something just landed behind me, said Rafter 2. I can see from here a man is standing right behind your cockpit. Shake him off, said Rafter 1. Shit, I can't shake him off. What the hell is happening? Alan shouted. The guy just activated my ejector seat, Rafter 2 said, as he was slowly falling. His jet was not so lucky though. It was thrown right into the mountainside, as it exploded. This is Rafter 3. Bogey 2 is also a man. He's holding on to Rafter 4 belly. That is when Rudy's phone started ringing again. It's me, said Tony. What? It's me in the suit, and the other one is Naruto. Back in the flight, fire style, as Naruto breathed a stream of flame that turned to a dragon. As the pilot tried to shake it, however, he could not. He ejected rather quickly as the plane was enveloped, swallowed by the heat, as the whole thing exploded. Probably a bit too much shocker, Naruto thought to himself. Time skip. Pepper rushed towards Tony, workshop/garage. He has been missing ever since the gala, as she believed that he got himself into trouble once again. She pushed Naruto for information, but he kept his mouth shut. He just said that Tony was not dead. That is when Jarvis told her that Tony finally arrived. She dropped everything and rushed back home. As Tony was in mid-air, when she finally entered the code and entered, the red and golden armor around him that he was trying to take off. He was caught right in the act. Be honest, said Tony. We've done a whole lot worse than this. She was about to reprimand him when she heard something that made the situation a whole lot worse. I don't need to know what nasty things you do in your private time. As she slowly turned to see Naruto, on a chair, his feet up eating ramen. Naruto, I didn't see you there, Pepper said, trying to brush off her embarrassment. Obviously, said Naruto, as he continued to eat. We can forget everything that was said, if you do me a favor. Oh, thank God, yes, she said. What do you need? Well, one is for me and one's for Tony, really, said Naruto. What did you two do this time, she asks. Oh, you don't want to know, said Naruto. Tony need a F-22 with all the bells and whistles. And I need one of them, said Naruto. Just send them to Rode. What, said Pepper. What the hell did you both do, she asks. And where did you go? Afghanistan, Tony said, expecting her to blow up, however she did not. She just stood there waiting. So he continued 10 rings, got 3 Jericho tanks, and a lot other stuff. They were held up in Gomera, so I took my new suit and went there myself. And how did you get involved in this, she said, looking towards Naruto. I was there first. It's your husband's fault that he decided to take my job, said Naruto. If anything, you should thank me. I just pulled him out of the crosshairs of 4 F-22. Hey, it's not my fault the tank shot me down and banged up the hardware, said Tony. However, he did not realize that he just made a big mistake. You got shot down by a tank? Pepper yelled. When were you gonna tell me this, she asks. As he could see the worry in her eyes, he walked over and took her hands. Look, Pep, he said, I'm okay. I'm not hurt, just a bit shaken up by the fall, he said, as he hugged her. As Pepper hugged him tighter and squeezed him for any injuries, and also hid her teary eyes, she was worried. When she was satisfied that he was okay, she released him and wiped her teary eyes. I still don't know why you need 3 rafters, said Pepper. Tony flew over 3. Restricted airspace, the military tagged him. I was gonna teleport us here, however. They already had visual on us, said Naruto, so we scrammed. Tony accidentally hit one of the planes. Me, not much of an accident. More of a controlled explosion. To emphasize this point, Naruto created a fire dragon. A small one that danced around him before it disappeared. Ever since Naruto had revealed himself to them, he started to use more of his powers when they were here. This always have 2 different reactions. Tony always tried to interrogate him for what he does, and how does he do it. His scientific mind wouldn't allow him to rest until he figured out, how did Naruto do all of this? The chakra explanation just wouldn't got it. He even started to make Jarvis record every unnatural things Naruto did inside the house, to find out how it was possible. Pepper, on the other hand, accepted the explanation. Looking back, being an alien god made everything more acceptable. There was one thing that she never expected that she would do. Placing rules. About this alien power in the house, she never thought that she would have to place these rules before. No fireballs, no x-ray eyes, no lightning balls, no sharp objects, and no dragons. Anyway, said Naruto, I have to meet my girlfriend. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I want to watch Rode press conference with you guys. He said that small laugh before he disappeared. Let me tell you something, Pep. I'm gonna figure out how he does that. He already told you how he does it. Why can't you just take that answer? Because chakra is not real, said Tony. Just let it go for now, she said. Anyways, I contacted the wedding planner. She's coming on Saturday. Tony walked up from behind her as he wrapped his arms around her waist and kissed her on the neck. Good, he said. I really don't want to extend this engagement period. It's so boring, he said. Well, she said, I may have a way to pass the time. As she turned and gave him a kiss. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification stay posted, remember share to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series on Anime King, Anime Prince, and Anime King 3 guys. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels that I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that right, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. And also don't forget guys to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post. So without further ado, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace guys.